Wow, wow, wow. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I know I say this every week, but this really is my absolute favorite episode of the L Word Generation Q season 2. I was smiling throughout the whole thing. I loved this episode. I loved all the Bette and Tina, Alice and Shane scenes. I loved just all the subtext and the looks, and a jealous Tina was alive and well, and passive aggressive jealous Bette was alive and well, and there was just so much going on and I absolutely loved it. So let's get right into talking about it. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button because next week is the season finale. And I also will be doing the draws for the Jennifer Beals signed print, autograph, and my merch giveaway. So make sure that you are entered into those by becoming a subscriber. And also, if you've enjoyed this season with me and coming to the channel, please give the video a big thumbs up as it really does help. And let's get on to talking about episode 9, Last Dance. So you guys know the routine. We go through each character. I'm actually doing it kind of by couple now because pretty much everyone is coupled up now. So we know they can't stay too happy for too long on the L Word. So let's see where we are next week. But starting out with Sophie and Finley. Finley, again, like the first episode, isn't really in this much of the episode because she's kind of gone on a bender. And as we see at the end of the episode, she actually turns up at Dani's, which very surprising.
Why do you ever live in that shithole with us?
Finley, you want to maybe sit down?
Oh, you're
And I wonder where, I think she's just been roaming around and like probably drinking somewhere, since I know like with alcoholics, like a lot of the time people will drink at home. So I'm sure she found a bar somewhere that she's been for the long time. And the scene at the end where she's at Dani's and Sophie comes over, like it really was heartbreaking because you can just like feel everybody like in the room just knowing that Finley obviously has like a big problem, and like Dani couldn't even bring herself to like say anything. Like she was really nice to Finley, and of course, you know, the woman who owns my heart, Gigi, is like trying to be nice. And I mean, they did lighten the scene up where Finley's like, you're both so hot, which I thought was really funny because yes, obviously they are.
Oh, you guys are together. That's great. That makes sense. It fits. It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna get you some water.
Because you're both very hot.
And I really hope that we do see Finley get help. Like it looks as though next episode, we've been saying this since those pictures came out, that it looks as though they're setting up an intervention for Finley. And I really don't think she's at rock bottom yet. So we'll see. But I mean, yeah, it was a pretty harsh but real look at when someone's suffering from substance abuse. And obviously there's all different ways that people do go through this. Like some people are really good at hiding it. Like Finley obviously has for a certain amount of time, but now it's become even more of a problem. And you know, I'm assuming she's supposed to be at work sometime soon too. So luckily she's got Tess and Shane who seem to be very understanding. So I just hope that the end of the season we see Finley going to get some sort of treatment and, you know, Sophie being okay with that. So Micah in this episode has, you know, a family gathering with Maribel, and I did really enjoy like the family all going over there and like the talking in Spanish and stuff. I grew up like around a lot of Spanish speakers, and it just always makes me like, you know, it feels nice when you're hearing it again, because I don't really hear Spanish a lot where I live now. And I just loved the whole, you know, like Maribel being more truthful in what she was saying because she knew Micah couldn't really understand. And then I thought their like little Netflix scene was super cute as well. So it looks as though they're getting pretty serious, and you know, her family are at least aware now. But I do really love the sisters dynamic too, like Sophie and Maribel, and how they don't really like take any shit from each other and they can call each other out. And I think that's very like accurate of a sibling relationship. So I've kind of missed that this season because we haven't really had many Sophie Maribel scenes, so it was nice to have one of those again. On to my favorite couple at the moment, Dani and Gigi, and I just love them. They're just so adorable. And I loved in this episode how Gigi was like, I used to be married to a therapist, because, as I'm constantly saying, Gigi is the healthiest person by far in the L Word universe. And I love too how she called Dani out and, you know, said, you told me you lied to me. And she really put her feelings on the table. She's like, I know that you're going through a hard time, but I'm not going to let you like walk all over me and use me and stuff. And
understand that you're going through a lot right now. And I've told you many times, I'm more than happy to support you, but I'm not going to let you take your shit out on me just because you're in pain.
Maybe she's got that from her relationship with Bette, where that did kind of happen. So I really love them together. I think that they have such great potential. I was really interested to see that, like, I mean, they haven't been going out that long. Like at this stage, it's probably just been weeks. And Gigi was, if Dani hadn't met her kids before, like it seemed as though they were going to meet at the recital, but I definitely got the impression that Dani had met the kids before, and like obviously like she knows Nat and stuff, so that's like sweet to think about too. And it definitely would be interesting for Dani, I think, to kind of navigate that world, because it's different when the partner's kids are like grown up or even teenagers, like when they're little kids and you're like really actively raising them. So I think that will be definitely interesting for Dani, who doesn't seem to be around a lot of children. Like she doesn't even have younger siblings, or it doesn't seem like a big family. So I definitely think that will be a new challenge for her. But I really hope that we keep our little golden couple happy. And I just loved seeing them like sitting outside eating and stuff. Would have loved to hear some more Persian.
Maybe it's not personal. How could it not be? I'm sorry she hurt you. Oh, she didn't hurt me. I am fucking pissed.
But I also just the way like Gigi's like holding her hand and stuff, like they're just so cute. And I know there are so many Genie fans out there, because I ran a poll this week and there was well over 4,000 votes, and over 50% are Genie stans. So to the Genie army out there, I love you.
How do you do that?
Do what? Get me to talk. I was married to a therapist.
That sounds exhausting.
Speaking of happy couples, Shane and Tess are very much a happy couple in this episode too. And they have, you know, lots of sweet scenes at Bette's house. And I loved seeing like Tess kind of being introduced to like, you know, the core OG group and like meeting Tina and stuff. I thought it was really nice.
I know we just met. We don't know each other very well. But for what it's worth, I really liked her.
That's really nice of you to say.
And Tess seems to fit in really, really well. And I also thought, you know, the like messing with Shane and calling her Eeyore was really funny too. We do have Shane saying to Tess that she doesn't know what to do about what Carrie confessed to them when she was really drunk. Like Shane's trying to kind of write it off, and Tess is a bit more like, no, you should tell her.
I think you should tell Tina that Carrie said she was having doubts.
No, don't say that, no. Carrie was wasted.
So I know we still have that Shane line from the trailer, you know, about winning her back. And I'm just really hoping that that line isn't to Tina about Carrie, because I know a lot of people are hoping it's to Bette about Tina or to Tina about Bette, but we shall definitely see next week, that's for sure. And moving on to Alice, I'll talk, after I talk about each character, I'll talk about Bette and Tina more, and then like the Bette, Alice, Shane and Tina scenes. And Alice has this kind of dilemma this week where she's going through asking about whether she should clarify that like she's bisexual and she's dating a man. And I feel this like in the real world, this is the way it would be too, because, you know, when Alice is being interviewed and so many people are saying she's a lesbian, and Alice does really call out Bette and be like, it's, you know, you that would be the problem. And then when she talks to Angie, I thought that was also pretty reflective of the times and how younger people are a lot more like fluid with people's identity, and they don't, you know, feel the need to like conform to this very restrictive box of you're this or you're that. So I did think that was really accurate and like well written and stuff. The Alice and Shane scenes with Angie were so great. I always say like Kate and Leisha are obviously so believable and have such great chemistry together because like they are best friends in real life. I like love when they have their little like looks between one another, and like you're picking up all these other things that's going on.
Hello? Hey. You made it.
Oh, they know. You know. She knows.
Knows what?
Come on. I'm so happy for you.
Okay. Hi, Alice.
And I just thought it was so great this episode where we got so many scenes with the OGs and like splitting them off so they were all like highlighted as well. Like we got Shane, Tess and Tina, and then we're getting like Alice and Tina and
Tess is Tina. Hi, Tina. Tess.
Nice to finally meet you.
It's really nice to meet you too.
Sure. Just right around there.
Okay.
it's just all the little things, like when Alice is talking about like the alcohol and Tina's like, oh, I didn't tell her to bring it. Like it just, oh, I felt like I was in the OG again.
Alice, look, they're teenagers. Bette, it's prom.
Oh my God.
Do you want some, Tina?
A little bit.
Good, because I'm making myself a martini.
I didn't ask her to bring it.
And it just, I absolutely loved it. So on to my beloved Bette, and if I drank, even though it's 7 a.m., I'd be having a drink right about now because Bette, oh, she goes through it this episode. She really, really does. And I thought it was so, like, I could honestly talk about just what Bette goes through this episode and like all the ups and downs and feelings and pressure and this and that, because she is the most interesting character on the show and one of the most interesting and my favorite characters in like all of TV, film, whatever you want to say. And just from start to finish, Jennifer Beals again, like amazing. In the hospital scene in the beginning, I loved how there was like this wordless communication between Bette and Tina, and they both in their relationship filled these very different roles, and I think that's why they worked so well when they were together so well as a couple, because they most definitely have different strengths and lean on each other at different times. And you actually see this, I'm going to use my favorite word again, bookended in this episode, because in the first hospital scene at the beginning, you have Bette who, to the outside world, when they're speaking with Marcus's wife, Bette is the strong one that kind of goes into battle. And they use this kind of metaphor throughout this, where Bette's going to speak to Marcus's wife and, you know, Tina leans on Bette that way. But then at the end, in the last hospital scene where Marcus is coding and they're about to pronounce time of death, you see Bette breaking down and leaning on Tina, and Tina's more taking the lead there. So I did like that. And then throughout the whole episode, we see this, wave of them going through like microscopic versions of what they've gone through over the OG, over Generation Q, and what I'm sure was in between the two shows too.
Did Bette say anything to Carrie? Because I'm worried something happened the other night. No, not that I know of.
So I'm going to talk about Bette and Tina and kind of the OG scenes all together, just because it just made me so happy to see them all together again. So we have, obviously, like I said, the Bette and Tina and Angie scene at the hospital, Bette kind of being the strong one taking on. And I was really surprised that when they went back to the house and they're kind of, getting the food and things ready for the prom party, that Tina like very much was like, did you fight for her?
Do you think you fought hard enough for her back there?
What do you mean?
Well, usually you win fights like that.
Because I feel as though maybe in the OG that like Tina would think that, but she maybe wouldn't say that. And I think that's showing like the strength of her character and how that she's, found whatever she was looking for, and it's kind of built her a bit stronger and more willing to say what she means to Bette instead of trying to protect Bette from her feelings.
It wasn't a fight. I was talking to a woman whose dying husband asked not to meet our daughter. I pushed back, but did I make her bleed? No.
And then in the same way with Bette actually does say to Tina like, oh, I didn't make her bleed, like I wasn't as harsh and critical and knock her down as I could be, which I think shows Bette softening. So I think that this scene wouldn't have happened in the OG. You would have just seen them being like passive aggressive to each other, and I think that shows the growth and things within them. So I really like seeing this scene, and it also gives me hope for maybe they finally have done the work individually where they can come together, but we'll see.
I just want to know what happened with Carrie. What did you say to her?
I told her that I didn't think it was absolutely necessary for us to be best friends.
And you said it just like that.
For fuck's sake, you know what? Actually, I was nice.
And then we have, Alice turning up, and it just was so great to have Alice and Tina together again, and like Bette, and then Shane comes, because Alice and Tina were such good friends in the original, and like when Bette cheated on Tina, like Tina went to Alice's. So it was so great to have them all together again. And I normally don't talk really specifically about the actors, but and maybe this was in my head, but I really just feel like you could feel like the electricity, like how happy they were to all be together again on the same scene and the same screen. Like it just, I felt like you could feel like something special, like they really had that magic there again. So it was really great to see.
That's funny because you have no problem bringing everybody else down.
Really? Really? That's what we're going to do now? Because today wasn't enough?
We're going to
Fantastic.
right now.
And I loved how Alice and Shane, like they have this relationship with Angie that is a relationship that Bette and Tina can't have because they are the parents. And it's just, I don't know, it's so cool and so nice, and like what I hope that my relationship with my nephews will be like as they get older and stuff. So I just really, I thought all those scenes were brilliant. And then Pippa turns up, and woo, jealous Tina, thank you for turning up. She is alive and well. And Tina has this like, it's like where she, I can't really do it, but it's like she like realizes something, and it's like it's a way that she turns her head where she's like, oh, you actually really like this person, and I like the way, that Tina was like, oh, Bette took me to one of your shows, which I thought was interesting language too, that she's, that she doesn't say it like we went together or something. So I thought that was interesting. But again, that was like anchoring Pippa in the world of the L word. And I do think that Tina asking Bette at the hospital, which I'll talk about in a second, that probably wouldn't have happened if Tina didn't see Pippa. And again, I do think it was very interesting choice to then show when Bette's, you know, celebrating about getting the Nunez thing taken down, and she like cries kind of with relief, joy, like maybe a bit of upset. So
I believe Pippa Pascal is in your house. Bette took me to one of your shows in Harlem. It was incredible. I still think about it.
Thank you.
Amazing.
That's very kind of you.
so we'll see what's going on there. And then we do go to the hospital.
I think we should go back.
Back to what?
To the hospital. To see Marcus.
Really?
Yeah. I think I might be able to convince him.
I have no doubt.
Where Bette and Tina are waiting to go in to see Marcus.
Yeah, it's nice being on your team. Not so nice being pitted against you.
When have I ever been pitted against you?
Now.
And we do get Tina talking about Carrie and why Bette can't just be happy for her. And Bette is just like, I am happy for you. Yeah, like, you're sure, Bette? Sure.
Tina,
I want to know why you can't be happy for me and Carrie. Can you tell me that?
I am happy for you.
I just don't buy it.
And then Tina asks her, are you still in love with me? And of course, as we all knew, as we all predicted, they are interrupted.
Are you still in love with me?
Okay, you can come on back.
And they go in and see Marcus and they have this like nice conversation. And then
It's gonna mean so much to her.
I should have known Bette Porter's daughter would be persistent.
Well, we taught her well.
And while Bette and Tina are leaving after their like nice conversation with Marcus, where he agrees for Angie to come back, it really, like, Bette literally goes, Tina, I can't decide what she was gonna say.
Tina,
Because part of me is like, she was feeling so connected to her in this moment where Marcus had said, you know, oh, I should know Bette Porter's daughter. And Bette says something like, oh, we raised her right. And there was just this like really nice connection moment with them. So I don't know. I feel like maybe Bette was saying like, going to say, I always will love you and our daughter or something. Like, I mean, I have eyes. Like, it's obvious that Bette is still in love with her, but just, you know what Bette's like. Sometimes she lies about her well, a lot of the time she lies about her feelings. So, and then obviously Marcus codes. They have a code blue, rush in to help, and we see the doctor like looking at their watch. So obviously it looks like they're going to call time of death, because normally when people code like that, it's a very, very like really small percentage chance of getting someone back anyway. And we see like Bette break down and Tina a little bit as well, and they hug for like a split second and then it goes black, and I was like, God damn it. Cannot handle this. We have to wait another fucking week to see what fucking happens. So that was the episode. Oh my god, there was ups, there was downs. I absolutely loved this episode. I absolutely love Dani and Gigi. Like, they are just perfect. And then the magic of having the 4 OGs again together. It absolutely made the episode. This is by far and away my favorite episode, and it was because of all the scenes at the house. It was just so great. And like I said, I feel like you could just feel the electricity and the magic with having our 4 favorites back together again. So let me know what you think down in the comment section. Did you also enjoy having our 4 favorites back again? What do you think Bette was going to say? Really interested to hear what everybody thinks. And I'll be back next week for the last episode of season 2, the finale. I'm just about to do my last trailer breakdown for the season. So after you've checked out this review, pop on over and check out the trailer breakdown. And don't forget, on Tuesday, I go live. So we have like a big extended episode discussion. And I am working on some really cool stuff at the moment. I am going to be interviewing the showrunner, Marsha Lewis Ryan, the day of the finale. So if you've got any questions, leave them down in the comment section for me and I will try and ask as many as possible. Make sure that if you are excited for the finale, leave a big thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on social media. Check out my L Word merch store. And if you want to join my little Patreon family, all the information for everything is down in the description box. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll see you back here next week for the season finale. So make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next one. Bye.